Hi everyone, it's Bob from Thrust-FPV. I just wanted to share something with you guys. I'm also going to do a helping build video for the manufacturer of this thing. You guys may have heard that I had a prototype sitting here at the house when we come back from FPV Fest. This is what it is. This is a model. It's got many uses, but its main intent is for long range surveying, high efficiency, low speed, you know, just long time flying up high and everything. It's got enough room where you can rig it up with absolutely anything here. First off, so it's called the Transformer from Finwing. And the reason why they call it the Transformer is this is all in different sections. As you see here, as it comes off on the spars, I can take this middle piece out and I can move the wing side over here, can join it to over here, remove this one, can join it to over there, and I can also put a motor on the back and use it traditionally as we normally use wings. The possibilities are really endless when you think about it. The more creative that you want to get with this, the more that you're going to do. The owner, Ben, I seen him make a video where he put two of these on. So he put one here, he added another one, and then he put the winglet on, which not only does it make it huge, but that also gives you an option to having 4 motors. First thing that come to my mind, as creative as I am, I was thinking about making it 5 motors and going ahead and putting a motor on the back, or making it 3, putting 2 on the front and 1 on the back, and put a pusher on the back just to see what happens. I may still do that, but I'm definitely going to fly it normally in both configurations, in the 33 and the 44. And I'm going to make it, you know, put it through all the things that he's kind of got going on there. Okay, so at this time I'm also going to show you how I'm going to equip this. I have absolutely everything here right this moment except for the servos. I'm going to use high-tech HS85 servos. I know, yes, that was very expensive for, you know, a test plane, but that's what we have available. I'm going to go ahead and show you what we're going to use. This will all make sense here in a second. So I've got the ready-made RC 3 amp UBEC. I have a 5 amp output max and a 3 amp nominal output voltage, and I can select between 5 volts or 6 volts. The reason why I'm using this is because the BECs that are built into some of the affordable ESC manufacturers, some of them only come with 1 amp or 2 amp output on the BEC for the 5 volt. When we're running FPV gear, lighting, and all things like that, that's not too good. You know, that's where people start to say these BECs suck that are on these ESCs. Where what it is you're going beyond the rating, and there may be a little bit of cost that we're cutting that department we're making it to. Depending on who you're getting it from, you know, what issues that they have with that particular brand and everything, that might be what's going on. So anyway, that's why I'm going to use a standalone BEC. Next we'll go into the video. I'm going to use a Black Knight from FXT VTX. Reason why I'm going to be using the Black Knight is because I am not going to put a flight controller in this. I'm going to do mixing on my radio, and I'm going to turn these 2 motors here into yaw, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that as well. So I'm going to put it on here, and so pretty much all you do is you plug in the normal little tuning cards that plugs into the side here, and then I have the same OSDs what we have on our flight controllers without having a flight controller. I got my voltage, I got, you know, everything like that, your name, all that good stuff. It is going to get a Mars, also from FXT camera. You guys, these things are awesome. It's going to get a Strix strobe. I can program this strobe to doing the things that it likes, that I want for it to do at its time. These things are super bright, and like I said, it's very adjustable, and I can even put it and arm it and disarm it onto a gear switch. I like to have some kind of a strobing LED on all my stuff, especially if I fly at night, so that I can find it. We won't even go there. the ESCs that I'm going to use. I'm anticipating a 15 to a 20 amp maximum jaw output out of this motor configuration that I'm going to put on here. So I'm going to go ahead and use the 30 amp quad ESCs since I am using a standalone Beck. The reason why I want to do that, I want that throttle range of the really good ESCs, quad ESCs. And these ESCs are also going to be mounted on the bottom to where it's constant airflow, so I don't have to worry about any of that shebang. Alright, the motors I'm going to put on here. These are the Emax lights, LS2207 light spec, and it is the 1900 kV. A description of what the plane is. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into what I'm actually doing here. Alright. The bad news here, nobody else's fault but the post, is my prototype test rig happened to take a little bit of damage in the shipping. As you see right here, my mold, it's been crushed. See where the crush marks are here. So my molding doesn't exactly fit perfectly straight. I do have a fix for this. I am going to go ahead and put a standoff in here so that I can pull these two ends together, and I will pull it back to plumb so that it gets its actual airfoil that Ben designed it to do. This probably will not make it on the plane in the end. I've already started the 3D design and the engineering of a new lid. It's just a personal preference probably for myself, but I definitely want a flexible overlapping here that comes out here on the side, and I can do it 2 or 3 mil, probably the same thickness that we have here on this, and it's going to be very similar to the durability. As far as that, it's just going to be stronger here. I'm not going to have to worry about these wood points here. This is a little bit miscut and it's already got a chip out of it, so I'm just going to 3D print this. I will, give him his embossing here so that he gets credit for it. But let's go ahead and open the back. Here we have the rudder. I'm going to call this a stabilizer because it's definitely not a rudder because it doesn't have anything ruddering. These are going to be my rudder. So that pretty much just stabs straight in here. Then boom, you're set. It's in. So I have a whole cafe in here of what I want to do. I can pull off this front. Tell me that doesn't make things easier here when I start to do all these electronics. I'm going to be able to get into this backside. This is ingenious. Ingenious. I actually own a couple Finwing planes already. This guy really takes the minute and thinks of all the little innuendos of things that need to go and how you're going to form it. You know what I mean? He really goes all the way with everything. And he tries to even supply you with absolutely everything. This is the camera mounts, housings, balls. So it's already put together. It's already done. Velcro's even put in place for the mounts for the cameras. Inside the bags here, we've got even the block for. This is made for surveying. Okay, is one of its attributes. So it's kind of made to where you can put a box camera, put it through this hole, put the lens through here. One of these mounts holds it. You glue it down and put a screw in it to hold it. And then you'll be able to do a bird's eye shot shooting down HD footage of what you're flying over. And then in the nose, it's built to actually take another HD cam in the front with the FPV cam so that you can get front surveying as well. So this is definitely a well thought through, maybe even commercial wing. I'm not a commercial pilot and don't have any concerns of ever being a commercial pilot at all. So yeah, I'm just going to use it for just general footage for me to play with and see how it looks. It seems pretty, non-efficient for random flying to stare at something straight up and down, but that's just me. I haven't tried it yet. So anyway, I'll stop babbling, and I'm going to show you the damage that we took here. It's really easy. Oh, another thing I want you guys to understand, he built this plane. And it also, when you're going to buy this from the store, when it's available to be purchased, all this, it's all magnetized and it all snaps in together. And the reason why he did that is he made a backpack for it. So this all breaks down, and you can put it on your back, carry it out to this camping thing or whatever, you know, adventurous thing that you're up to. And then within just a few short minutes, everything just snaps back together and you're up and you're flying again. Me personally, I fly a little bit rough on my stuff, so I'm probably not going to use it for that benefit. I'm probably, you know, mainly going to go for the durability build on this, and then I'll explain that a little bit later as well. It's also going to be how I'm going to fix it. So pretty much you see the magnets here and here, here and here. They're rare earth, so they are super tough. You've seen how I had to take 2 hands to get it apart. And boom. And then it's going to do the same as I go into the fuselage here. So this is, for traveling, this is a genius. You're going, when you want to do these servos here, the servos are bottom out, and he's already got the slots cut in it so that you can get the wires into the fuselage. But you want to leave yourself some extra leads inside the fuselage so that you can separate it in case you're going to an event or you're going out to something and you need that extra space so that you can break it down. So do not wire up these servos into your receiver or your flight controller where they're taut when built. Leave a good 4 or 5, 6, you know, leave you some room so that you can work on your plane or break it down. With that being said, all the notching, this is for the ESCs. This is your ESC notch here. Like I said, a lot of that, I'm going to have to cover this because I'm not going to use some of these holes. I'm going to be a very lightweight version of it. But he's tunneled everything. He's even got for where you run the wires through after you put on the motor mount and you put on the firewall. You'll be able to run the wires through a protector right here. I'm also going to put race wire and have a race wire here so that when I come in for landings, I'm not scalding my wires. So it's going to come in through here and then out through there. The rest of this, it's very, you know, very self-explanatory what's going on here. When it comes to you, he has not cut out, and they do this for shipping reasons, for damage. You need to cut these out right here to get your elevons broken free from the main mold. That is told, do not cut this line. You want this line. And you're also going to want to run some kind of a reinforcement here, whatever, tape, goop. A lot of people are about this goop right now on their servo hinges, or on their elevon hinges. This stuff is pretty tough. It's kind of lightweight and it's flexible. It lets everything work without binding on anything. And then, you know, I'm also the traditional guy who's got no problem grabbing some shipping tape and just slapping that on there and saying, see you when you got a problem. But this is the shipping damage that I took. The box got crushed. Okay, so the tips on both of my winglets are really bad shape. So I'm going to have to take some coating here, some wrap, clear. And once I get the shape back to, well, I'm going to have to hold it here, get my shape pressed, put a couple clamps on it, and then I'm going to have to use the shrink to pull it back to flush and level. It's just what we got to do. Just one major thing that I really wanted to show everybody and make sure that they do get done is you need to pull out your firewalls for your motors first things. And you're going to need to reinforce them with the glue. This is one thing that I do, and then I'll go work on something else while this, because this is like stage 1. What you're going to want to do, any place where you run a screw, where you're going to tap and thread anything balsa. Pretty much any time I ever mess with balsa at all and there's a screw or anything, or it's a reinforcement point or anything, you need to make this balsa strong so that the screws hold. So take your get the thin CA glues you can get, and then put it around all the screw holes, and the balsa will suck that in there, and man, this stuff is tough. You know, you can even do it around here just to make sure that these don't compress. When you put pressure on tightening up the motors, you want to crush them out. It does not hurt you at all to go this extra mile here. If you do it now, it may keep something from ever actually happening in the future. So I just wanted to show that to you guys. I get this stuff at Hobby Lobby. It's like $4 a bottle, much cheaper than this stuff, and it works just as good. It's called Extreme Power Thin CA Glue. I don't want to use my kicker because I don't want the kicker to change color on it. I don't, but this is usually I can just hit this one time and then instantly my CA is cured. But we're not using that for this. This is going to sit so that I don't get color changing or reduce the strength. So I'm going to do the same thing. You are going to take your glue. This is the main 2 screw holes that are going to hold this firewall in. And I'm just going to go around the openings and the holes and where I'm going to put pressure on this so that it is much, much stronger and it can actually tap a hole and hold. Okay? I'm going to set this up as well. Now, this is the firewall. This is what directly mounts to the motor. I'm going to go ahead and make my holes here. Very good. This is where the pressure, all the pressure goes on right here when you're tightening up the motors. It's all on these holes right here. So make sure those babies are soaked through and through so that they don't crush. In case somebody's super strong and they want to get the motor tight. Anyway. There you go. I just let the CA soak in all the way around on this. Okay, and I'm just going to put it on my cloth. Don't set it on anything that you don't want. I'm sorry, don't set on anything you want until it's dry. And you can do the same thing, just trace the holes, put this in there, keep doing them. I'm barely squeezed. I mean, this stuff is so thin, a little goes a long ways. Alright, set that down. And yes, I'm not an over-nurtuous person or anything, but usually when I mess with CA, and definitely the kicker, I am wearing a glove. Okay, we're wearing a glove before this stuff soaks into your skin and it is a toxin. The thin stuff just goes straight into your body. All right. Unfortunately, I believe this is it for now. Since I don't have the servos yet, and all I really need to do is mount the motors there, then screw that down to the subplate. This is going to be a really quick build, you guys. See you soon.